Welcome to our Getting Started training. Glad to see you here. Thanks for watching this. I know you want to jump into the day one. This is actually going to give you a little bit of context on what you're doing. So it's important that you watch this video. So I'm going to try to keep it short, and that way you can get the most out of this training. So two things. First off, what happens on a daily basis? I want to explain that. And then second, I want to talk about really your overall learning arc. Like, what is it that you're going to gain, just so you really know what's coming. It's kind of like reading the table of contents before you dive into the book. So first off, on a daily level, every day log into the platform and watch the video. And then beneath the video, there's going to be a worksheet. And so the video will give you instructions on completing the worksheet, which is also going to ask you to update some things on your social profiles, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook. And so step one is watch the video. Step two is do what it says, update your profiles. And then step three, I'm actually going to ask you every single day to turn in your homework. And you're thinking, what do you mean by that? Well, what we've done is we've created the Boss Social Community. It's a Facebook group, and then there's also a private LinkedIn group. It's just for people that are taking this course or this challenge. And what it is, it's a place where we can help each other out. And so every day at the end of the challenge, I'm going to ask you to go in and create a social post that just gives us some feedback. How are you doing? How did it go? Did you have some wins? Did you have some questions? And that way I can find out how you're doing. You can do this in isolation, but I'm telling you, if you'll leave these posts every single day, you're going to find that this experience is much more rewarding for you. You're going to move forward faster. I know it takes a little bit more vulnerability to do this, especially since you may not know everyone in the group. But I'll tell you why I'm doing this. I've taught workshops for many years. And what I found is when I teach a workshop, someone will ask a question. And when I was first a trainer, I'd say, oh, well, let me give you the answer. And I would just tell them my answer and we'd move on. Over time, I learned that the other people in the room actually have often greater context and smarter answers than I ever could give. And I just want to try to pull that out of you guys as a group. This is not like a training course where you just bought it and then, like you bought an album and you're listening to songs and there's no interaction with the musician. This is actually, even though we're sitting in different rooms, I'm alive, I'm on the planet, and I'm actually looking at this Facebook group and this LinkedIn group every day, and I'm hoping that you will be active there, because if we do that, we can actually get much more than just the technical training I'm going to share with you. We can create really a community where we can help each other out. This stuff is evolving all the time, and I don't think this is a one and done kind of experience. You've invested into a community where we're going to be able to help each other, I think, for a really long time. So every day, watch the video, do what it says, and then go into the Boss Social Community and look around. Does anyone have a question that you could answer? Do you have a question that you want to throw out there? Share some wins. Maybe there's going to be something that happened that was awesome, and you can record a little video of yourself and you can share it there, or write a little note and share it there. That engagement is going to be probably what keeps me from feeling like I'm all alone in a room recording this like I am right now. I hunger for human connection. I'm just kind of broken that way. And so when it comes to these learning experiences, I need to see how you're doing. Now, sometimes you might have questions that you just want to send me a direct message that's private. That's totally fine too. But whenever you can, just realize that this is an opportunity for us to really help each other, all the way through this experience. So that's what you're doing on a daily basis. Watch the video, do the training, leave your post. You'll see on every single training, just like this one, down below on this side, there's going to be the links to the PDFs and the worksheets you need. And then on this side over here, it's got the shortcut links to the groups. So you can just go to whichever one you like. If you use LinkedIn all the time, then I'd say go to LinkedIn group. If you use Facebook all the time, go to the Facebook group. If you want to use both, that's totally fine too. Okay, so that's, took a little longer to explain that than I wanted to, but that's what we're doing on a daily basis. So now what are we doing overall? I've broken this up into two challenges. There's a 10-day challenge, and then there's what I call the 5-day bonus challenge. And I've done that for two reasons. Number one is not everybody needs to do everything. The truth is, the 10-day challenge may be enough for some of you, but some of you guys are going to want to go on and do the extra 5-day challenge. And then the other reason I did that was, it was just kind of hard. When I first started doing this, I was actually having you do LinkedIn and Facebook at the same time. And the way it works now is we pretty much in the first 10-day challenge we're going to just focus exclusively on LinkedIn. We might talk about Facebook a little bit, but we're really focusing on the updates on your LinkedIn profile. So here's what that 10 days looks like. Here's kind of the summary of what's coming. Day 1, where are you at right now in the world of social media and the web? If I were to go check you out on the web, what do you look like? We want to make sure you know what you look like. Day 2, we're going to talk about where do you want to be? What are your goals? What's your objectives? And we're going to help define that. So that way you know the path from where you are to where you want to be. We want to make sure that's clear. Day 3 and 4 are technical LinkedIn update days. So we're going to be updating a whole bunch of stuff on LinkedIn. I'm going to make sure it looks really smart. And then we're going to actually start looking inward a little bit. Days 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all going to be focused on who are you? What's your message? What's your unique selling proposition? What I call your superpowers. What's the message that you need to be sharing on social media? And then that leads into who's your ideal client. So we're going to really map that out. Who is your ideal client? What's the buyer's journey for your ideal client? So that way we can make sure the things that the way you're optimizing your social media and the things that you're sharing are actually aligning with and attracting the actual prospects that you want. And then we're going to talk about calls to action and how to move that all forward. And so that's really our first 10 days. Once that's done, we can then go back and repeat that process for Facebook. So days 11 through 15 are Facebook personal profile and Facebook business page. And so those will be optional. It's really up to you to then decide, now that you know what your message is, after you complete the first 10 days, I know what my message is, I know how I want to share, I know what I'm doing here, and then it'll go pretty quick. You can actually kind of copy and paste in a lot of those situations to then update those other profiles. But there's separate training for those at the end. If you're in commercial lines, then I would say the first 10 days may be enough for you. You may not need to do the Facebook stuff. But if you're in personal lines, you really need to do both. So that's really what you're up against when it comes to what we're going to be doing over the next 10 to 15 days. So getting started, I told you every single day there's going to be assignments and a worksheet. Before I stop this video, I just want to go over what we're doing for today. So here is the assignment right here. I think I've got some bulleted points here. Commit to completing the challenge. I made this as short as I could because, you know, any of us can go on a diet for 10 days, right? This isn't a 3-month course or a 6-month course. This is the 20% of effort that's going to get you the 80% return in this space. I call this whole initiative Boss Social because I want you to be the boss of your social media, not that I want you to become this social media, you know, amazing marketing person. It's LinkedIn, Facebook, they're employees and you're their boss and you got to make sure they're doing the right things for you. So commit to doing it. Be the boss of your social media, join the communities. We've got the assignments right here. I'll let you go through these for yourself. Probably the one that I want to talk about though, the third one says print and display the Boss Social Manifesto where you can see it every day. Okay, that's this guy right here, the Boss Social Manifesto. Check that out. Effectively, in taking this training or this challenge, you are taking on the mantle or the persona of a boss. And my question is, what does that mean? Well, that's what this manifesto is for. This is to kind of basically give you an identity when it comes to what is your relationship with your social media. I want you to own this. I want you to read this and own it, read it all the time. And when you're getting overwhelmed, read it. And a couple of points here I'll say, right? I am the boss of my social media, right? You can just chant that in the shower. Like, I'm the boss of my social media. Like, this stuff is not going to kick my butt. I'm going to kick its butt. It works for me. A couple other things. Probably maybe just the last one I'll read. You can go through these on your own. But the last one says, I help my fellow bosses any way I can. When I wrote this, I almost wrote, I help my fellow bosses when I can. But I thought, no, just like I talked about a few minutes ago, I really believe that the magic of this experience is going to be in the group. It's going to be the opportunity that we have to connect with other sales professionals, to share our wins, to share our struggles, and use this all as a catalyst for us to be able to create some community. And so that requires a little bit of vulnerability and it requires a little bit of work on your end to be able to be willing to share. And I know it can be scary to share, But just like I said before, it's in sharing and in these workshops that I've had when they really were powerful wasn't when I was just pontificating. It was when we allowed the group to actually kind of bend the conversation a little bit. So yes, there's a very complete linear path of learning that's going to happen here, but I'm really excited what can come about if you catch the spirit of this and you share in the community. So I hope that excites you. It excites me. If it doesn't, and you just want to do your thing and look good and get on your way, then I'm okay with that. I'll just cry a little bit at night in my pillow. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think that the value that we're trying to create here is not just in the training. It's because we can connect. This has all of a sudden got a lot longer than I wanted it to. So I'm just gonna wrap it up here and say good luck, finish this off. Oh, I forgot one more thing. To really get us off on the right foot here, the last part of the getting started worksheet right here, this guy right here, you'll see at the bottom, it says get to know me. So at the end, like I said, you watch the video, you do the training, then you share your post. I'm gonna give you prompts every day. So the prompt for today is actually this right here. And I want you to just to answer these questions. I love to, what's something that you do just for fun? The best thing about my business is, what do you love about your job or your business? And then I'm taking this challenge because. And I want you to answer those questions. And then with every ounce of bravery you have, I would like to encourage you to go into the Boss Social community, copy and paste that information in there, share that with a group, and that will be a nice kind of, call it kind of an icebreaker type experience for us to actually engage with each other, to see what everyone else is interested in. And I think that's going to be interesting to find out. Now, of course, different people are taking this at different times. So what I'm doing is I'm encouraging you to add a hashtag to your post. And you might say, Brett, what's a hashtag? Basically, if you're not familiar with hashtags, let me just jump right here. When you create a post on social media, if you use the hash mark, right, the little pound mark or symbol in front of a group of words, then it turns it into a link. And so for the hashtag for this post is hashtag I am the boss of my social. And so what that means is when you create your post, whatever you write, somewhere in there or at the end, write exactly this phrase just like that. And when you publish it, that's going to turn into a link. And if you click it, it's actually going to show you every single post from everyone else in this course who had that exact same hashtag. So every single day has a unique hashtag, and we can click that and we can see what everyone's been doing at wherever they're at progressing along this. So even though some of us are taking this at different times, we didn't all start at the same time, we can actually see how everyone was feeling at the same time. And so that's just one of the cool things about technology that we can do when it comes to using, that's part of the reason I'm using this online group, is I wanted to have this kind of technology in place. Okay, so there it is. Go to work, get her done, and I'll see you tomorrow in the day one training.